All right. Well, it looks like entries have slowed down a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is David Riley. I'm the Senior Coordinator for New Student Programs here at Mizzou. Excited to have you all join us this evening. Just a couple quick little housekeeping tips before we get started. If you're not seeing anyone but the presenters, if you can't see yourself on your screen, that's fine. That's the way it should be. You don't need to adjust any settings. This is a webinar format. So the presenters are the only people you will see. A couple other quick little housekeeping notes. We have turned off the chat function, so you won't be able to chat with anyone on here. However, we have turned on the Q&A function, so you'll have the ability to submit questions to us using that Q&A button down at the bottom of your screen. And so with that said, we're going to go ahead and get started with tonight's webinar on going beyond the classroom, where we're going to talk about ways to get involved in academic related activities that are outside the classroom, just like the title says. And so with that said, we're going to just go around real quick, and I'm going to invite our panelists to introduce themselves. And Laura, we'll start with you.
Thanks, Dave. Hi, everybody. My name is Laura Piter. I work at the MU Career Center, and I'm going to talk a little bit about internships tonight. Oh, sorry, you go, Dave. Sorry.
Nope. And Sarah?
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Humfeld. I'm the Assistant Director in the Office of Undergraduate Research.
And Hannah?
Hi, I'm Hannah. I am the Internship and Minor Coordinator for the Office of Service Learning.
And Eric?
Sorry about that. New to Zoom, right? My name is Eric Potter. I am the Program Manager in the Office of Global and National Fellowships, although our website still says Fellowships and Advanced Studies, which is about to change, not to confuse anyone. I'll be speaking about fellowships and how to apply for them.
And Chloe?
Hello, my name is Chloe Chaplin. I'm the Study Abroad Coordinator with Mizzou's International Programs Office. So we're going to talk about study abroad.
All right. And I believe, Chloe, are you up first?
I believe so.
All right. Well, then I think we're going to jump right in.
All right, just to give everybody a roadmap of where we're going tonight, we are all of us very excited to welcome you to Mizzou again. We're thrilled to meet you in person here in a couple weeks when you get onto campus, and we hope that during Welcome Week you might come and visit us in our offices to ask more questions, follow-up questions about some of the topics that we talk about tonight. So as we mentioned, we represent a number of campus-serving offices on campus, so we're going to talk about all of these ways that you can get engaged in scholarly and academic activities outside of the classroom. I'm going to just start us off real quick by trying to convince you the hard sale here about why you should get involved in academic activities that you're not actually required to do. You're not taking a class, you're not paying tuition money for it, but there are some really remarkable benefits that you will get if you do some of the activities that we're talking about tonight. One of them that we like to talk about a lot is career readiness, is that when you engage in study abroad, service learning, undergraduate research, and professional internships, that you are going to gain skills that employers absolutely are dying to have. I have heard one of my colleagues refer to these skills as catnip for employers, right? So here are the 8 top career readiness competencies that employers tell colleges that they would really like to see in their graduates. And they involve things like critical thinking and problem solving, which is something that you can develop if you're conducting undergraduate research. Teamwork and collaboration, you can develop those skills in any of the activities that we're talking about tonight. Leadership is another one. Global and intercultural fluency. So these are skills that you will develop to a very high degree when you engage in some of these activities that we're going to talk about tonight. A number of these also are going to help you clarify your academic and your career goals. We really encourage students not to wait until after they've fully decided on their major to do these things. Do these activities to help you resolve your major and the careers that you're interested in doing. So it can be really eye-opening to engage in these activities and then learn about new career options that you might not have known about before. So that's a really great benefit. We hear frequently from students that the things that they are learning in these activities come back to benefit them in the classroom. So they'll be sitting in the classroom and they're hearing a lecture about a certain thing. They're like, oh, I learned about that on my study abroad last summer. I know exactly what they're talking about. Or in the case of undergraduate research, they're like, oh yeah, I know what that technique is. I know how to do that technique. I have the muscle memory for it. It's not just head knowledge. So we hear a lot of students that talk about the benefits in the classroom from doing these activities. And finally, you're going to build some amazing relationships. So those can be relationships with peers. They can be really deep, important lifelong relationships with your faculty mentors who can have a big impact on your success after university, and they can be important relationships with potential employers after you are done at Mizzou. So these are just a few of the benefits that we'd really like you to think about as you're exploring some of these opportunities. And with that, I will hand it over to Study Abroad.
Okay, so I want to kind of go over what study abroad actually looks like on the ground here at Mizzou, some important things to keep in mind. And then, of course, I want us to talk about the biggest things to consider as you're going into your first semester here, and kind of the challenge that I ask all of you to undertake as you get acclimated to campus. So we'll start with just kind of the range of opportunities. We have over 250 programs in over 50 countries, and that is an overwhelming amount. And that is why we are kind of here as study abroad advisors to help you through every stage of that process. And all of those opportunities allow you the creativity to really cater these experiences to what you want to accomplish. So in terms of locational diversity, if you are someone who's always dreamed of studying in East Asia or in Italy or studying Spanish in Peru, we can help connect you with those opportunities. The same can be said for what you're studying. And so study abroad does not have to be tied to your major. While every single major here at Mizzou has opportunities to study abroad, that should not feel limiting to you. If you want to use study abroad as a way to explore kind of other interests you have, you can still receive that general education credit, that elective credit that every student is going to be taking. I have several students who maybe they aren't necessarily sold on an engineering program that we have abroad, but they would rather explore, their love for psychology. And so they take a psychology course over the summer, or they want to really get clinical experience as a biomedical engineer or as someone going into the health sciences. So they really want that in-depth clinical experience over the summer in the form of an internship abroad. So there are lots of ways that we can help connect you to kind of the goals that you have that are larger than just your time at Mizzou, kind of what comes next. So in terms of kind of the types of programs, you can pursue kind of a traditional study abroad where you're taking courses, receiving Mizzou credit in turn. So help completing your degree, because study abroad should never serve as a deterrent to completing your graduation or fulfilling those degree requirements in a timely fashion. This is meant to complement your studies. This is meant to help you maximize on your time here. And so you can take those courses abroad, maybe over a semester or even as short as spring break. So programs really range in duration, of course. Outside of that, you can do really amazing experiences like gaining work experience abroad through an internship, in which we kind of help you through that entire process. So we take the weight off your shoulders a little bit and help you focus on just kind of the intercultural experience that it is. There are service learning opportunities abroad where you can receive credit in exchange for kind of working on this volunteer project on the ground with an organization and doing some great work. You could pursue undergraduate research abroad, work under a Mizzou faculty member and conduct some of that undergraduate research. And then, of course, at the center of anything we talk about with study abroad is cost. We want to make sure that you know that we are here to help you and talk openly about how to utilize financial aid, how to seek out study abroad scholarships, and make sure that you are applying for anything that you're eligible for with our support. And then utilizing the scholarships that you've already worked hard for, that you've already earned. So we really work as much or as little as you would like us to with you to find creative ways to fund your experiences, because costs vary just like location does and program type and field of study does. So I'll have Wiz go to the next slide. And really quickly, I want to touch on kind of the why factor. All of you are here tonight in part because you have some interest in this. And so I'm sure I won't have to convince many of you, but I do want to reiterate just kind of the growth potential that this promises. This is the best way to take your degree, which is a world-class degree here at Mizzou, and take it next level. You know, be competitive for the workforce, be competitive for those graduate school applications. Being able to market yourself as someone who can problem solve under pressure, communicate across language barriers if you're studying in a country where you don't speak the language, because at Mizzou, you know, over 80% of our programs do not require any foreign language proficiency. But we're still going to set you up with the skills you need to succeed on the ground and make sure that if you're interested in learning a language, you have plenty of opportunities to do so, that you're more confident and self-assured when you return, so that really this experience is a lifelong learning potential, not just, you know, a vacation. And I'll have us go to the final slide. Thank you. And this is probably our most important slide because it's all of this great information I want you all to take away tonight with, and just kind of have a plan and action for, you know, as you're adjusting to campus. Study abroad is there in the back of your mind, and you're kind of laying the groundwork for when you're ready. In terms of when you can study abroad, you are eligible after just one semester. So it's really never too early to start thinking about and planning your program to kind of make that first contact with us and connect. Of course, you know, a lot of students do not go abroad until their sophomore or junior year, which is by far the most popular time. But that doesn't mean that we don't have a lot of freshmen who will maybe spend their first summer abroad and get the travel bug. And as I lovingly refer to them, they become my repeat offenders. So they keep wanting to go abroad and take advantage of all of those opportunities out there. So some of the things that I would have on your radar if I were you, one, kind of get familiar with our website. There is a lot of great stuff there. One being Study Abroad 101, which is kind of what I'm talking to you now about, but more concise, more specific, and you can watch it on demand. And so really anytime you want to see, you know, what does an application look for? What is kind of the order of operations as I'm going through this, and have those questions answered. The most exciting is our program search. And this is how you can really see some specific examples of, you know, what does it look like for me as a journalism student who's considering an internship abroad? Where are my options for study? I want to go into the health sciences. So how can I study abroad for, you know, longer than just a summer or winter break? I want to see those long opportunities and where those are in the world. Within that, you can get cost breakdowns. So a lot of transparency about what costs look like and what's included in those costs, so that it's not just sticker shock, as well as kind of the courses that are available, how course transfer works. So all of those questions that are running through your mind. And then of course, I have to plug our two biggest events of the fall, because we're going into a really exciting time where we want to connect with you all on campus. One being during Welcome Week. So you're all going to be moving in just a couple of weeks now. Thursday, August 18th, be sure to join us for International Field Day. You get a free snow cone. You can play a little bit of cornhole, learn some games from around the world, and just put a face to the name. Kind of who is the Study Abroad office? We'd love to meet all of you. And then of course, you know, meet each other. And then of course, once you get settled in for the fall semester, you've got to come to our Mizzou Abroad Fair. That's a physical representation of all of the opportunities we have. Connect with students who have just returned from spending the summer abroad. Connect with faculty who are taking students in your major abroad next year. And so a great way to kind of dip your toes in the water and figure out what's out there. And then of course, follow us on social media. I feel like that really something needs to be hit home with Study Abroad, because you really can't believe it until you see it. And so keeping up with our students on social media at Mizzou Abroad is the best way to literally see what it looks like to be a Mizzou student and to spend the summer abroad, to be a Mizzou student and to get ready to leave for your fall semester. And so what are the things that they're doing? What are they nervous about? What are their greatest accomplishments? Because that'll be you in a couple of years. So with that, I will turn it over to my wonderful colleagues, but feel free to drop all of your questions in the Q&A.
All right, and up next is...
Hello again, everybody. So if you have already forgotten, my name is Sarah Humfeld. I'm in the Office of Undergraduate Research. Chloe and I didn't plan it this way, but I put my contact information here on the very front slide. So our social media is right here. So I'll echo what Chloe says. Social media is a wonderful way to follow the activities of students who are engaged in any of these activities. So our social media, we have a lot of great highlights last week from a campus-wide presentation event that we hosted, where a lot of students who were doing research over the summer told the campus community about what they had learned. And so we have a lot of great social media highlights showing what those students have been working on. It's a great way to learn about the types of research going on campus. But there's other ways to contact us as well. So you can certainly always email our office and we can answer a lot of questions that way. Like Chloe mentioned, we also have a website with a wealth of information. There's a lot of questions that can be answered by digging around in the website. So we would encourage you to visit there. And then also, I like to do appointments. So I'm the primary point person in the office for one-on-one student advising. I don't replace your academic advisor. This is supplementary advising if you want to talk specifically about undergraduate research. But when you get to campus and get familiar with MU Connect, please reach out, make an appointment, come visit, and we'll talk about your questions and hopefully help you get set up in a situation that you're excited about. All right. Part of the goals that I have for tonight is just to help you conceive of what research looks like at a university, because I think a lot of us have ideas in our head about what research is and isn't. And I really want to just open up the doors to all of the possibilities and get students from every major really excited about research. So the broad definition that our office uses and that our colleagues use is that research is creation of new knowledge. And that happens on every corner of campus. All of your faculty, in addition to teaching you in the classroom, are engaged in knowledge creation. I think we're most familiar with what that looks like in the sciences and engineering, right? It's somebody in a lab coat at a bench and they're pipetting. I like to make fun of pipetting, but there is certainly creation of knowledge going on in the English department with people making new interpretations of old literary pieces. There is creation of knowledge in engineering whenever a new robot is invented or a new purpose is conceived of for using those robots. So there is knowledge creation everywhere. And as a community, we think that that process of knowledge creation is fundamental in some way to your education, that you are an integral part of that knowledge creation, that it makes your education more vibrant and more meaningful. And it's part of training you to be a knowledge maker and not just a knowledge consumer. So that's something that we think is really important about engaging in this kind of hands-on learning. So here's where I make fun of pipetting, right? Like I love CSI. I'm a fan of CSI. There's lots of pipetting. This is the image a lot of students have when we talk about undergrad research, is that it's biology or chemistry. But here are some of the activities that students and their mentors do when they are engaged in scholarly activities in their different fields. So we want to think broadly about the humanistic studies. So those of you who might be in religious studies or women's and gender studies or ancient Mediterranean studies, those are all humanistic studies fields, English, right? Those are the sorts of activities they do, in addition to things that maybe we're used to thinking about in the sciences, science, technology, engineering, and math, but also in the social and behavioral sciences. Those of you who might be in psychology or sociology majors, these are the sorts of activities that those researchers do. And certainly those of you in creative fields, in art, in music, in ceramics, right? There is creation of new understanding of the human experience through art. That is also a scholarly activity. So all of you, every single major, there is not a single major on campus where you can't get involved in undergraduate research. I always think a picture is worth a million words. So here's just some images we've captured over the years of mentors, of faculty mentors working with students to engage in undergraduate research and scholarship in a variety of fields. So our Office of Undergrad Research, we are going to work to support you as students in a variety of ways. So it may be that at the beginning of your time at Mizzou, it can be as early as this year. It's never too early to get started in undergraduate research, that we're going to help you explore your interests. We think it's really, really important that when you are looking for a research opportunity or a research mentor, that it matches with your interest, that you're not just going to go out and find the first person who has an opening, but that we want you to match up your intrinsic curiosity with a mentor who's working in that field. So we're going to work with you both to explore those interests as well as identify potential mentors who might match up well with you. Once you get involved in research, then there are going to be more opportunities that we can share with you to develop your communication skills, to find further opportunities, maybe further abroad around the United States during the summer, maybe abroad. So fellowships and study abroad have opportunities that we can all talk about for doing research in other countries, other nations around the world. We're going to have conversations with you about exploring varieties of research careers. They don't just have to be in universities, but folks in the Career Center like Laura can help us have conversations about what those sorts of careers look like. And certainly to be able to convert the experiences you're having here as a researcher into a really high impact resume that is going to get you interviews and going to get you a really great job. So we're going to work directly with you and in partnership with other offices on campus to do all of these things. Okay, so I have a teacherly background. I have enjoyed teaching classes for Mizzou students for a while now, so I always like to kind of pause. I'm not going to, nobody has to tell me, but take 30 seconds of a quiet moment and write down for yourself on a piece of paper in your cell phone, what are 1 or 2 or 3 areas that you would like to learn more about? Is there a field of study that you are curious about? Something that when you see a YouTube video, that you end up going down a rabbit hole for 2 hours and then you look up and realize you've been watching these topics for a while. When you're sitting in your introductory classes in the first few weeks at Mizzou, is there a special topic that really catches your attention, right? These are the things, these are the ideas. This is the list that I would love to talk to you about when you get to campus and we're starting to think about looking for research mentorship in a particular field. I love this picture. This is a recent picture from the College of Engineering. They have a new space called the Cave, the virtual reality cave. It has 3 walls, a floor, and a ceiling onto which they can project images, and then you wear 3D glasses and you're in a human-sized 3-dimensional space. It's really, really cool. So they're working with students to develop some of these virtual reality environments for the cave. This happens to be a really large heart that you could walk right up to and check it out. So that's an example. Once you have a chance to think about your interests and then maybe work with our office to identify some potential mentors, the ways that we help you do that is to look around. So I have some knowledge about where we might be able to start, but it's just a little bit of legwork to look around campus. There's hundreds of faculty. I can help orient you to departmental websites, to other websites where scholarly research is reported. But I also am going to encourage students to talk to as you're developing your network on campus, talk to those individuals, right? So if you're in your intro psych class, go to office hours, talk to the professor and say, hey, I was really interested in that developmental psychology topic you were talking about yesterday. Are there people on campus here that research that area that I could talk to, right? So office hours is a fantastic opportunity to learn more about topics in your discipline. If you pledge a fraternity or sorority, talk to some of your older brothers and sisters who are probably doing undergrad research, talk to them about their experiences, talk to them about their mentors, talk to other people in student orgs. You are a member of a community with other students who are doing this, and they can give you great advice. Our office always is going to encourage you guys to have an account on Hire Mizzou Tigers, because a lot of faculty mentors will post research positions on that employment website. So we always want to make sure that you guys have that. And we can certainly talk to you about some of the formal undergraduate research programs on campus that some of them have some specific goals in terms of students they're recruiting or particular disciplines, but that's another set of conversations that we can have as well. So from our office, the next steps that we would encourage you to be thinking about in just the next few weeks, we're going to be having one of our popular workshops, how to get started in undergraduate research. We do that every month, but we're going to offer it for incoming students again on August 11th. So check our website, there's a link. If you missed the one on August 11th, it'll be again in September, it'll be again in October, it'll be again in November. We do a lot of online workshops, and we would encourage you to attend as many of those as are of interest, because that again is a way to sort of build up your background knowledge when you start to have a conversation with a research mentor. On the QR code that I posted, you had the possibility to sign up for our monthly newsletter. It's another great way to keep up with goings on in our office. We will also have an event during Welcome Week. So on Friday, August 19th of Welcome Week, we will be hosting an undergrad research fair. We have faculty who are bringing hands-on demonstrations between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. And it's not just biology, it's not just pipetting. There are going to be a lot of really cool faculty from all around campus who are going to be show and telling their research. We also have lined up some tours of some of the research labs in the Life Sciences Center. So come visit with us on Friday the 19th. Talk to your academic advisor. Tell them early on that this is something that you're interested in, and they can help you look for opportunities and advocate and have you think about how to plan research into your four-year plan. I teach a class. It's a fun class. It's an introduction to research, scholarship, and discovery. We go on field trips to places like the cave. Think about adding that as an elective into your schedule if you want to learn more. And certainly don't hesitate to reach out to one of the staff in our office, myself, or any of our undergrad research ambassadors. So just as take-home message, undergrad research is for everybody, regardless of how far you are in your degree, what major you are, or whether or not you care about going to grad school. It is really something that we want all of you to get engaged in because it can be a life-changing experience, and we're here to help. I'm going to hand it over to my colleagues in the Office of Service Learning.
Hi, I'm Anne Marie Foley. I'm the director of the Office of Service Learning. And we also have Hannah Carico here. And well, this is a beautiful PowerPoint they put together. They put this PowerPoint together in my office when I was leading one of our global service learning activities that our study abroad colleague just mentioned, Chloe just mentioned a little bit ago. But I just got back 2 weeks ago from a 6-week full-time internship global service activity in Ireland, where a group of students worked full-time in professional internships with adults with intellectual disabilities. And these were pre-med students. These were OT, PT, pre-nursing. We had somebody from special ed in the College of Education. And so really, dare to dream. And what service learning is on our campus, look, my doc has come too. What service learning is on our campus is coursework on our campus that includes community engagement as part of the homework. Let's go to the next slide here. We have a lot of different programs. We work with about 33,000 to 3,400 students a year in courses all across campus, everywhere from agriculture to English to the School of Medicine works with us. We work with the College of Business and Social Work and just about everything in between. And what we do is support courses on campus that include community engagement. So perhaps you're in the College of Education. In the first couple of years of your work there, you'll be placed in different academic centers for largely at-risk youth in our communities and work as part of your LTC coursework to sort of enter the idea that teachers are part of communities. If you're in the College of Business, you are required to do 2 different service learning projects. One, BA 2500, and it is an exploration of not-for-profits in our communities. And the next one is consulting work with different nonprofits throughout the state of Missouri. So before you graduate, more than half of you will participate in community engaged coursework. But there's a lot of other things you can do too. Besides supporting several thousand students a year, getting them placed, helping them find work in our communities that's very relevant to their coursework, helping them find something that makes their heart beat, develop professionally, something to get really excited about. We also work on global service courses. Can we go to the next one? We also work in global service courses. We also work with internships with state government, as well as our congressional delegation in Washington, D.C. We also work in global service activities, and we also offer nonprofit internships through our office. One of our favorite things, and if you want to go back real quick, thank you. Just to the previous slide, thank you. One of our favorite things to do, and I just want to sort of riff off what Chloe was saying, is supporting students in engaging in global service internationally. You can see that we work in several countries: Vietnam, Ireland, Thailand, Peru, Ghana, and Costa Rica. And all of these different activities immerse you in communities internationally, gaining invaluable professional experience, but also just gaining the most amazing stories to tell. And I have to tell you, and I am riffing off what Chloe said, I just have to say, dare to dream. All right, dare to dream. Because the fact of the matter is so many students will go, oh, I don't know if I can do that. This might be too hard. This might be too expensive. No, it's not. We will find ways to help you get there. We'll sit down with you. We'll help you find the perfect activity for you. And one of the things that's so cool about our global service projects is you're not just passing through. You're becoming part of communities and making lifetime friendships. Let's go to the next one. In addition to our campus-wide work, where we have several thousand students, it's about 500,000 hours of professional service to the community each year. In addition to that, we also have a remarkable minor in leadership and public service that really focuses on field experience in communities, field experience internationally, and field experiences with our legislature here in Missouri, with the governor, with our congressional delegation in Washington, D.C. And we combine this, and this is, by the way, a self-crafted minor, where we sit down with you and we find out, who do you want to make? Who do you want to become? What do you want to get out of these activities here at MU? So for instance, say you're pre-med. What we suggest you do is we'll set you up with an internship working with perhaps veterans, homeless veterans, or working with senior citizens, or working with children with disabilities, or working at the Veterans Hospital, right? And then we'll say, okay, we've got a public health project we're working on in Vietnam. We work with children and adults with HIV. That is going to be a really excellent public health project for you as a pre-med person. And then we're going to recommend some related coursework that you take as well in terms of medical ethics. So by the time you're done, you've put together this amazing story about yourself. You've put together this package, and it's our job to sit down with you and work with you and help you make that true. So we have hundreds of office hours, Zoom hours throughout the semester. Get in contact with us and let's talk through how we can put together this minor, which is a combination of university coursework and field experiences that really fit the person that you're trying to make here. Let's go to that next slide. Our CLIP internships are incredibly important. This is another one where I just say dare to dream. If you're really interested in making a difference, if you're really interested in public service as a professional career in your future, it's really, really important that you know how your government works. And it's our job, irrespective, you don't have to be in poli-sci, education, business, communications, English. It's open to every single major, so you can explore how your government works as you think about what kind of leader you want to be in public service in the future. Let's go to that next slide. Okay, how to get started. You can see two beautiful interns jumping for joy because they are in our program. However you get started, whether it's global service, whether it's nonprofit internships, whether it's the coursework we support, go on our website and you can fill out an interest form. And it's really nice to browse through, click on things, and then just give us your name and number and tell us your email, whatever, what you're interested in on our interest forms. And we will make an individualized appointment with you and help you work through what you want to do over the next few years to really put together an impactful narrative about who you are. Let's go to the next one. All right, this is the contact us part of this. And so the best way to contact us is servicelearning@missouri.edu. And another excellent way to contact us is look up the MU Office of Service Learning website, look at the different programs we offer, fill out an interest form, and we'll be back to you within 24 hours, make an appointment, and help to talk to you about what you want to achieve at MU. And this is the time, when you go, well, maybe not this semester, maybe next semester. Great, let's sit down and talk about what the opportunities are. I finally want to thank Sarah Homfeld for putting this together. We're talking about high impact practices. And I just want to say, for me, it's a total joy to see how transformative and exciting these experiences are for students. So just fill out an interest form, shoot us an email. We will make an appointment with you and it's going to be great. Okay, I feel that I am done.
All right. Anne Marie, I always love listening to you. It makes me want to go back and do some service learning and all the things. So thanks for that. And the rest of everything else that we've talked about tonight. But again, my name is Laura. I'm from the Career Center. And I'm going to talk a little bit about internships. And really, I think internships have a lot of similarities to some of the other things that we've been talking about tonight, and has a lot of the same outcomes, if you will, of that, enhancement of skills and able to get out and practice. And I think a lot of times what happens is anytime you go out and do these experiential learning opportunities, it will enhance your major. Many times it helps you to discover what that major is going to be or what that is, helps you to discover that career. And it's such a fun, again, discovery, I think, is such a big part of that. And these a lot of times are the things that the parts of your college experiences that you think of the most through the rest of your life, that you'll talk about the study abroad opportunity you did, or the fellowship you did, or the service learning, or the research project that you were on. So we're so excited to talk to you tonight. And I think my part about internships is really just that opportunity of what that is and what you get out of it. And really, it's just a chance to get out and practice something that you think you're going to be interested in doing as a career. So you get that hands-on opportunity to work in a setting with professionals who are able to guide you through a lot of the tasks and things that you'll probably be doing as a professional in that area. So some of the whys and the benefits, why are these important, and what happens because of them? Obviously, just like with part-time jobs or any of these opportunities, it gives you a chance to learn how to be a professional, how to build work habits and gain that confidence, building on those amazing skills that Sarah talked about at the beginning of this, those career readiness competencies. Many times, just in a practical sense, those internships lead to full-time job offers. So it's a chance for you to meet people in the industry and find opportunities. 1, 2, 3 jobs out. A lot of times you meet people that can help you at any point in your career during those internships. And I will say, employers tell us all the time, what are some of the top things that you look for when you look at candidates? And that experience is one of the top things that they're always looking for. Students that have engaged in any of this stuff is the catnip that Sarah talked about earlier, and just gives you a chance to find out what's going on. And I think the last thing that I'll say is, a lot of times with internships, the result of them is a lot of nuances within these things, but it usually leads to something like this is really exciting to me. And I am so glad I did this because now I know this is what I want to do. It could be, okay, wait a minute, this is not really what I was thinking it was. But now I know. Now I know, and I know that I can go back now and sort of, figure out something a little bit different or somewhere in between. And a lot of times, most students, I think, fall in that in between and say, I really like this. I think it's now just going to tweak a little bit about what I thought is maybe I want to do, so I think any of those paths are equally valuable. So it helps you to more greatly understand what some of those things might be for you. So Sarah, you can move to the next one. So a couple of logistics about internships. A lot of people, of course, want to know about payment, and internships is a really interesting beast out there because it greatly varies in the paid to unpaid realm. So a lot of internships are unpaid, where you are simply going to get that experience. And, many times there's a lot of other great benefits to those, such as professional references, obviously that experience that you now have and is on your resume. But there are a lot of paid opportunities out there, and that could be a lot of different kinds of payment. So it could be an hourly wage. Sometimes it could be a stipend of some kind. There's lots of different ways that you are compensated for internships. And then it also includes credit. And I will tell you that there are a lot of departments on campus. Anne-Marie talked a little bit about the College of Business earlier, School of Health Professions. There are several areas of campus where an internship is absolutely integrated into that curriculum, and it is something that you will be doing as part of your major and degree. There's other departments on campus and they highly encourage, actually all departments encourage internships, but they encourage it because you can get credit for that. And there's some other departments that don't typically offer credit, but highly encourage you to get those internship opportunities because, again, all of the benefits of that, and it allows them to, be able to build more confidence, more skills in those students that they're teaching. So one of the things that we'll say is if you're thinking about internships, go ahead and talk to your academic advisor. We always say the onus is on the student to find out if they can get credit or not. What are some of those opportunities that might be available for them? The second question we get a lot is where can I find those internships? And there's a lot of really great places that you can do that. The first central place that we typically will recommend is Handshake, which is our online job recruitment software that you can get to through going to hiremizzoutigers.com. That is the central hub for all things internship, job, fellowship. Eric, in addition to Eric's department, there's a lot of fellowships that are on there. And really anything except volunteer opportunities is represented on Handshake in a lot of different ways. You can find out about events and career fairs and so forth, but that is the central place that we'll send anybody who's looking for internships. And I will tell you, as somebody who manages that site, and I post internships all day, every day, and there's a ton of them on there, which going back to what Chloe said, it's really great to have a lot of opportunities, but sometimes that can be overwhelming. So one of the things that we like to do in the Career Center and with my career colleagues across campus is help make that process a little bit easier for you. There's also some other internship sites like internships.com. There's an Internships USA resource. Obviously, we say talking to people that are out there and networking and finding out what opportunities are. Some of those internship programs are very structured, where they're competitive and structured to get in. There's other types of internships that you might be working with a startup and you're doing a whole lot of everything, and it's a lot more unstructured and everything in between. So there's lots of different kinds of ways that you can connect with people about opportunities. And lastly, go ahead and connect with your school or college or your academic department, because they're going to have a lot of insight about where other students have gone, contacts that they have, and some ideas that they might have for you. And then the last thing really is when part of it, and just like all of these other opportunities, there's no right or wrong time. Typically, students are looking a little bit more in that sophomore, junior, senior year for internships. That's not to say they're not available to freshmen. And hey, if you want to get going, we highly recommend it, and we'll help you with that process. But you can really do them anytime. They vary in length and kind and all different things. So it really kind of depends on when it's going to work best for you. Talk with your advisor, obviously, to find out a little bit more information and how you can get credit if so. Visit us in the Career Center and your academic career office. So Mizzou we have a coordinated system of career services. So there's several career offices that are embedded within the schools and colleges. You can always talk to the Career Center. We're the central sort of help everybody place for that. So we can help you to build your resume, help you to practice interview, help you to find resources online where you can search for internships, and really everything in between. So, so use those resources. As we say, use what you have. Everybody on here is really excited to help you to find opportunities that are going to work great for you. And the Career Center is included in that. So, so please come and see us. Again, we are at career.missouri.edu. That's sort of the central place to get started. We didn't have that on the slide, and I apologize about that, but if you need anything, you can look us up, and we're happy to help. So let me know if you have any questions, throw them in the Q&A, and I think I'm going to kick it over now to the awesome Eric.
Thank you, Laura. So I also forgot to put a contact slide on here. So before I forget, you can reach the fellowships off, or the Global and National Fellowships Office at fellowships@missouri.edu. That's the best way to get a hold of us, via email. And then our website is fellowships.missouri.edu. And you can find out a lot more specifics and details of what I'm about to talk to you all about. So I know with a lot of the things that have been discussed already, people will have, coming into college, a pretty good idea of what research might be. Maybe you're surprised at the breadth of it, that these creative achievements are considered research. I know that was something that was new to me when I got to school. Everybody kind of knows what an internship is. You might not know all the different varieties here, but oftentimes we talk to students that don't actually know what a fellowship is. And they also come in every size and shape and stripe and color, but they do tend to focus in these 4 buckets that I'm about to talk to. They tend to be funded opportunities. They will send you anywhere in the world. A lot of times they will send you abroad. This picture here, this is Caitlin. She graduated a couple of years ago, and she is in Spain in this picture doing an English teaching fellowship. So there are opportunities to study. We have fellowships that will send you for grad school abroad. You can get a whole graduate degree paid for. You could go for just maybe a semester, even just for a week or two through a study abroad option. You can use a fellowship to have a research opportunity. Some of those are international. A lot of them are domestic as well. The teaching opportunities do tend to send you abroad to non-English speaking countries. Typically, most of the time the teaching is an English teaching fellowship. And then these professional placements, internships are part of the fellowships world as well. There's some really cool public service internships, public policy internships, a lot of more public-minded, civic-minded kinds of internships that will be supported by fellowships. And one of the things, and you can go to the next slide, Sarah, students also will get confused about is if they do know what a fellowship is, they might have heard of the Rhodes Scholarship or the Fulbright Scholarship, and they'll think that that's something that they will do senior year, and that it's not something as an incoming freshman that they need to worry about, that it's too soon. And that is absolutely not the case. The fellowships are for anyone. If you have good skills, grades matter, scholarship matters, and research falls under that. If you can point to a great history of grades and research, if you've got some leadership experiences that you can point to, a service experience, volunteer kinds of experience, you have a broader curiosity where you want to explore more about the world, about our country, about other countries, you are a great fit for fellowships. There are 5 actually that we work with every year. Freshmen come in, you could make an appointment with me first day on campus, and I can talk with you about 5 fellowships that we support with freshmen. There is, in fact, the previous slide, Caitlin, she had applied for a it was a Fulbright scholarship specifically for freshmen and sophomores. So typically the the big Fulbright program is for senior year students to apply for and do after they graduate. But they have a program that will send you for 3 weeks over the summer to the United Kingdom and explore some programmatic theme. There's a social justice theme, there's an environment theme, there's a technology and science theme. Really top-notch faculty. They put together a carefully designed program. You go with a cohort of students, other high-achieving students in the United States. It's a phenomenal opportunity. Kobe here in this picture, he applied for the Critical Language Scholarship, which is also open to freshmen. If you're interested in learning a language that isn't spoken in Western Europe, typically it'll be covered by the Critical Language Scholarship. Oftentimes, these are languages that aren't offered at Mizzou. So if you want to learn Swahili or Urdu or Indonesian, you're not going to find a class at Mizzou, but you can find really great. You can get a year's worth of language study through the Critical Language Scholarship. It packs into a summer, 8-10 week course. So these are things that you can apply for now, and you can keep applying for. We have some students that will apply for a fellowship every year. They'll find a different one that will support them in their journey. Our goal is to meet with you, figure out what it is that you want to achieve in your career, in your time here at Mizzou, what it is you want to do with your life and why it matters, and find a fellowship that is a fit for you. And you can go to the next slide. So the journey starts with making an appointment with me or one of the other soon to be hired fellowships advisors. We're a little lightly staffed at the moment, but we're bringing a couple more people on as soon as possible. Sit down and have that one-on-one conversation about who you are, what you care about, why that matters to you, to the world. Find those fellowships that might fit that journey, and then sit down and help you apply. There's an essay component to every fellowship that we support. So those job skills that Sarah was talking about all the way at the beginning, the oral and written communication and the global and intercultural fluency, that comes into play hardcore with almost all of the fellowships that we do, certainly the oral and written communication. All of the offices that you've heard from tonight, if you engage with them, you'll be coming to the fellowships process with fantastic building blocks, stories that you can call back on and bring into your fellowship application. You can talk about how the service learning course that you took in Ireland, working with the folks with intellectual disabilities, prompted you on this path, and you took those extra courses that Anne-Marie recommended, and then you followed up with an internship through Laura. You did some research. You got all of these things that you will have done that will show initiative and leadership of yourself, and hopefully with others, and engagement with the community, so that when you're trying to convince a group of strangers to give you a chunk of money to go and do this opportunity that so many other people are qualified for too. There are always more students applying for these slots than there are slots to give. And so making that argument of how this will matter more to you than to anybody else is a much easier when you can show the tenacity that you've demonstrated in the path that has brought you here, and why you've got 9 different reasons that are pointing you to this thing. This is why I want to do this. I've done all these things and they're all pointing me in this one direction. And so you'll sit down with me or with one of my colleagues, and we'll kind of walk through that story and say, okay, here, what are the pieces that you've got? You've got this old suitcase full of stories. Like which one do we pull out? How do we put them together that make sense, so we can show this trajectory in your life that has led you from where you started to where you are now, and how this fellowship will get you to where you're going. And then we'll have you write that story. We'll run it back and forth, revise it a few times, submit it. Hopefully you get selected. Even if you don't, you will learn tremendously from the process. As you think about your story and synthesize all of those experiences, you will learn to be a stronger advocate for yourself and for your own intellectual development. And that will be something that will be valuable when you go and apply for that next internship or that next job or that grad school program that you might be interested in. or the next fellowship. You know, if you come to me freshman year and we go through that process, when you come back as a sophomore, you're going to be an even stronger applicant. You've done that once, you've learned from it, you'll do it a better job the next time. We've got a lot of students who repeat offenders who grow tremendously. It's really fun to watch Carly here. She's one who got that summer Fulbright experience and was delayed in going here. She's just now getting to go. COVID threw a wrench into a lot of things, but now she's applying for a bunch of things as a senior, and seeing the growth that she has had has been really rewarding for me. And it's a fun journey that we help our students through. All of these offices, we're in this business because we love helping students, and if you engage with us, we will be there to help you, and it'll be fun to watch, and you'll learn a ton. So again, fellowships at missouri.edu is the way to reach us by email, and fellowships.missouri.edu is the way to find us on the web. You can find a whole big long list of fellowships on there that you can explore and talk with me about.
I can't say it better than Eric. So I think in conclusion, we're here because of you guys. We're here to help you reach your dreams. And sometimes that starts with figuring out what your dreams might be and looking at the world of possibilities. But we are all here to work with you. And that's what really gets all of us excited every day to come to work. So we're excited to meet you. When you get to campus in a couple weeks, please come introduce yourselves. Please ask us as many questions as you have. And with that, I think I'm going to stop the screen share and we'll see if there's more questions that we need to answer.
Well, as we kind of wrap things up and give folks the opportunity to submit any final questions, I want to give you all our presenters the opportunity, just real quick, run around, kind of do a little quick round robin. One last little tip in terms of best way to connect with your office, or perhaps you have an event going on during fall welcome or during welcome week, if you'd like to plug that. So we'll do that real quick. And Laura, we'll start with you.
Yeah, thanks again, everybody, for coming by. Connect with us at the Career Center on our website, which is career.missouri.edu. And we will be participating in Welcome Week and doing the fair and a couple other different opportunities. We will be open during Welcome Week too. You can come see us Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, online, in person, by appointment, or drop in. So that's like all the things. So you can really, any combination of what works best to see
us. Sarah.
Welcome Week, undergrad research fair on Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's going to be in the Bond Life Sciences Center, which is just down the street from Plaza 900. So you've probably walked by it on a tour and didn't even know you were walking past it, but we will be there. We'll be there to answer questions. If you can't join us during Welcome Week, come to one of our many workshops. We're doing 2 to 3 workshops every single week, or send us an email to ugr@missouri.edu.
Eric?
Yeah, you'll be able to find us at the Study Abroad Fair. We'll be there promoting our Gilman Scholarship, which is another one that you can apply for as a first semester freshman. I'm actually not sure. We should be at Welcome Week, but I actually need to confirm that. So
you're going to be at my event, right, Eric? You're going to be at the undergrad research fair.
Yes, that too. Fellowships at missouri.edu is probably the best way to make sure that you get your name and info into us, though.
And Anne-Marie?
You know what? We have ongoing workshops starting in September for global service, for nonprofit internships, for internships in state government in Washington, D.C. We'll be at the Study Abroad Fair. We'll be with Sarah, I believe, too, right? We did it last year. That robot came walking by and scared the bejesus out of me. Oh my God. I just hope it doesn't happen again. This is robot dog, kids. There you go. Be warned. And then just get us on our service learning website, fill out an interest form, and we will see you about whatever hopes or dreams you have and things you'd like to accomplish.
Right. And Chloe?
definitely at Mizzou Abroad on Instagram. Shoot us a DM whenever, wherever. We'll get back to you. But then, of course, International Field Day, the Thursday of Welcome Week. It's the only event during the day, so you can't possibly have anything better to do. Come out, have a snow cone, and let's meet
Oh.
face to face.
Like snow cones.
Right.
All right.
And we did have a question come in from a student wondering, they're participating in sorority recruitment and they're wondering if they can still come to Welcome Week events. And I'll just go ahead and extend that out from sorority recruitment to some of the other planned activities that are going on during Welcome Week for groups like Marching Mizzou or ROTC or fraternity recruitment. And the question is, it's not simple. It depends on what the event is that you want to attend and what your schedule for your event, whether it's sorority recruitment, ROTC, Marching Mizzou is. But if you do have a conflict, I can tell you all these offices will be more than happy to meet with you and talk to you outside of that. Generally, those schedules have a little bit of flexibility into it. And a lot of the Welcome Week events are scheduled for hours on end, hours at a time. So it does create a big block of time for you. So if you do have some conflict, I can't guarantee you that your schedule, it may work out perfectly in the wrong way, that you aren't able to do it. But like I said, these offices will all be happy to chat with you individually. And as you get more information about Welcome Week, which can be found on the welcomeweek.missouri.edu website, and they'll be sending you some additional email information about that via email here in the coming week or so. With that said, yeah. Oh, Laura.
Can I jump in? I totally forgot. I'm so sorry to elongate this. I totally forgot. We are doing a Student Success Center Carnival on the Friday of Welcome Week from 11 to 1. So it's this Career Center and the rest of the offices in the Student Success Center. So it's just going to be fun carnival games and then learn a little bit more about what our offices do.
So who else is in? Who else is in the Student Success Center with you?
Yeah, it is the Career Center, the Writing Center, Trio, the Learning Center, Discovery Center, Transfer Center, and I think that's all of them. I know and academic, the Center for Academic Success. So the CASE office is also there. So so come and see us. We are exactly what our name is. We're there to help with student success. So thank you.
And I'm going to use that as an opportunity to plug our previous webinars. So if you want to learn more about the Writing Center or Learning Center or any of the other offices that Laura mentioned, or many other opportunities, or you want to learn more about Welcome Week, we've covered many of those topics and others in some of our previous webinars that we've been doing for the last several weeks since Summer Welcome ended. And those, just like tonight's webinar, were recorded and are available to view on demand on the New Student Programs website, which is newstudent.missouri.edu. This webinar will be posted. We might be able to get it up tomorrow. If not, we will have it up by Monday. But don't worry, you don't have to go in and keep clicking refresh on the website to see if it's been posted, because we will send you an email letting you know when that one has been posted, or this one has been posted. So with that said, thank you all for joining us this evening. Thank you to our panelists for taking the time out on a Thursday evening to help make this possible. And otherwise, we will see you all on campus here in just about 2 weeks. So that said, good night and go Tigers.